It's going to be a hectic matchup, I feel. If anything, it's going to be one of those brawl fights where there's going to be a lot of pacing within the game. Who's going to take momentum? Who's going to take sharks of the game? Is it going to be ENCE with a strong CT side, or can Hellraisers sort of break that down in the beginning and gain some of that momentum you need on a Dust 2 T side? I'm looking forward to see Hobbit. I'm looking forward to see IEM, Sergey for that matter as well. I think we have a lot of individual star players on the server as well. It should be a close and interesting one.
It should be, and you are here at the right exact time. I do have some very special commentators coming your way as this pistol round kicks off on Dust 2. It's going to be Machine and Sponge. Take it away, boys.
It would be my pleasure. Thanks so very much, Trace. And I'm not sure if you can hear me because I can't hear myself. I can now. I found the magical button. I'm joined by Chad, and we've already seen First Blood. Already aerial down. Sponge, we were told to keep our eyes on him as a win condition, according to Pimp, and he certainly has been both their very biggest asset and somewhat of a weak link at times.
Yeah, Natu actually has said the same, that this kid has a lot of potential, but as we kick things off with the first man to fall towards mid, the second killer coming as Woxic will find the head of Lexi B.
Let's see how this one shapes up. Already the round looking like it's over. Fantastic opening work from Woxic, and closing as well. Bookend frags from their AWPer, just with the Glock, of course, to kick things started. And that's a T-side pistol in favor of the Raisers of Hell.
Yeah, very quick approach. Usually going out long fast against USPs is the range of that is normally not ideal, but able to make the Glocks work in that scenario. And then pivot back as a unit. Group up in mid, trade out efficiently, and get the round on the board. That's the basics done well. Now, ENCE are opting for the Force Buy. They want to get stuck into this one early. Have the Scout on X7.
Ooh, how you feel about Force Buy D2?
I like a lot of Scouts on this map in the Force Buy. Maybe grab 2, you get a couple of CZs. Ali's able to get a UMP.
Oh, Alexi's getting a lot of punishment for that smoke. As soon as it went down, as soon as it bloomed, the bullets came through. Cost him half of his health. Aggression in towards Tons. He's supported by Aerial, though. They've already done damage to Angel. He's not going down without a fight. He does manage to keep on his AK very comfortably. The CT aggression rewarded by Alu, though. Pushes up on short. Issa was eliminated, but Woxic quick to trade. So numbers heavily favouring Hellraisers, both in cash and in players alive. Just Alexi B, who's still paying the price for his early aggression towards double doors, down to 31. And X7, that scout that Chad was so happy to see, is a little disconnected. Out on the A site, likely going to start the rotate, but no info to go off. And it should be a little Hellraisers 2-0.
Yeah, if they use the utility they have here just to smoke off the choke points, near the back of the side, be very cautious in their approach. Alexi B should drop without getting too much done. But X7 actually cheated over. He's now towards middle. They're hedging towards this B-bomb site.
Alexi, he's just going to try and play that waiting game. And yeah, this should at least render him one frag. No, running out of bullets. That's the CD. X7 did catch one, but that's the end of the round. Hobbit is going to secure the second, and even a little bomb plant for an extra 300 pocket money. And we'll keep our eyes on ENCE. Likely an eco here, perhaps a couple of HEs, a smoke grenade if they're treating themselves. Am I reading that right?
Should just be the full eco, right? They want to, they want to get the AWPs up. They want to get the full utility because it's shown already from Hellraisers that they want to take a quick pace. Now, if they're able to hold on to these 2 MAC-10s, which they currently have in the hands of Hobbit and Issa, maybe we'll see a bonus round scenario come out where if they get a good mid spawn or a good B spawn, we'll just see a standard Dust 2 rush, which you love. But this one here should just be an absolute farm right now as they push up towards Issa. He's going to get tagged on down. He won't fall.
Oh dear! Woxic should be able to keep hold of this one. Thank goodness Dead Fox is there, but Alexi B has found 2 with the USP. It's fun to say, even funner for ENCE fans, because now all of a sudden fun is not a word. 2 versus 2. And my goodness, things have gone from bad to worse for Hellraisers. Charge up middle. Alexi's made the AK work. It's now all on Hobbit. He's only got a MAC-10 and they're pre-aiming him. They managed to make the full eco. And I think they're going to convert it. Hobbit's got no health, no hope. And no life left. ENCE, they secure it with a CT charge up middle. Credit to Alexi B, though. They've been looking out for him. They say he's the fragger, and that double with the USP.
Yeah, normally what you see happen in those rounds, the CTs, they don't have anything, didn't even have a flash to work with. They just push up mid, and they're meant to just drop in succession. But here, they're able to get so much done. It looked like Hellraisers were completely caught off guard by that. Issa wasn't even able to pull his gun out in time to get anything done from that mid cutout position. And now, it will be the first gun round as double AWPs will be on the side of ENCE here. One in Alu's hands and one on Sergey.
Let's see how this one shapes up then. Only real sacrifice is Issa, and of course, utility. D2, perhaps, though, one of the maps that you can get away with. Okay, Dead Fox through the fire and flames does catch one by surprise. Sergey down. I don't know if he's going to get... Oh, my goodness. This gamble from Dead Fox pays huge amount of dividends. He's got himself an AWP, a sight, and 2 frags. This could very well be the round as well, converting, resetting ENCE back to nothing. As they're going to be scarpering away. Plant for tons and 2 there to hold it. That's enough.
If they hold on to these 2 weapons they have right now, Alex, a really positive sign here is X7 has enough money in the bank to buy himself, and Sergey should too, but don't worry about it, because Ali's going to fall to the AWP of Voxic, and now the hunt is on. They want to take Aerial out of the picture. If they can get this M4 out of his hands, then ENCE just get reset back into things. He's going to find Angel, but it shouldn't be too long until they pin him down and make him pay for that.
Some Green Mile stuff talking about here, man. Jeez. Aerial on long is going to be holding onto his AK, wondering whether they're going to be willing. Hobbit knows time's over now. He can't really continue the hunt. Going to have to accept it. Does start a little bit of a rabid spray, but nothing to connect. And so Hellraisers 3 to ENCE 1. Not forgetting, of course, the CT side for the Finns, expecting to see somewhat of a lead garnered in the first half.
This is where the question comes in, because X7 has 5,200 and Sergey has 4k of his own. They already have bought the AWP. I can let everybody know while this replay is on, it will be the force up from ENCE. This is fantastic play from Dead Fox. I could see you questioning the Molotov play, because he was just standing in it for a while, but to push it when they weren't expecting it, and Woxic going to start things off with Sergey on the cross. That force by already getting slammed as the B rush is on.
Oh, he has called the B push. 7. He's doing the flashbang dance, and Issa is here to break up the party. A quick shot towards the hole in the wall. Angel already aggressive with the MAC-10. And this call, Chad, you said it's an ambitious call on the best of times, expecting big things from your individuals. But when you lose Sergey before the round's even begun trying to cross the site, that's just a tale of dismay. Not great for ENCE, and they're going to be forced to try and keep hold of what they have left. Speaking of, it's just a bit of Kevlar for Alu, and the full setup from Aerial, a scavenged AK, of course, from the round prior.
Yeah, so just to note with that cross, sure, you know, they're going to smoke it, they're going to nade it, they're going to make it as easy for them to get across as possible, but some AWPers just have a knack for hitting tags, hitting the gap shot.
Did you know there's a practice map just for that shot?
Wow.
Yeah, I went on it on Workshop. You basically just have a bot that jumps across the doors at different angles repeatedly. Check it out if you're interested in doing what Woxic just did. Aerial, though, keep track of that. He has lost his weapon, and now Alu desperately clutching onto his Kevlar vest. Whew, a battle of survival, but he does do that.
Yeah, he hasn't really taken anything through in this round anyway, so if he had fallen, it's not the hugest of losses, really, but now ENCE find themselves in a very interesting position.
Woxic, this high-sense gamer, take a look at this. No info, pure intuition, and a whole little bit of luck as well.
Yeah, definitely luck on his side right there, but if he continues to do that as the game progresses, then we might have to transition that luck to pure skill of this AWP, tagging up Sergey again.
Hey, ENCE won the round previously on just the pistols up mid. I don't think Woxic's going to let that happen. Now he's got the big, I was going to say green gun. It's rather more flamboyant than that, but Alexi B does what he did previously. He gets one with the USP. Fortunately, they stabilize this as quick double will secure that. And now Hellraisers start to manufacture quite the lead here. 5-1 on their T side of Dust 2. Have they pulled anything out of the strat book yet? This feels rather just bread and butter.
There's a lot of spawn players, you know, they've had some simple but well-placed flashes that have helped them find some openings, as well as those frags from Voxic are surely influential right now. But a big question mark for me is how ENCE going to respond, because this quick pace, it forces you to use a lot of utility early,
sure,
and that conditions you for the late game. So if Hellraisers is going to continue this, which it looks like they are, Angel and Issa straight down the death alley as Voxic is the overseer, making sure they can't be tagged by an AWP. They've already got cat control, 1:45 left on the clock.
And I don't think they're going to stop there. Nades in their hands. It does look like they're going to start to flash their aggress. No one's there to receive them. Fortunately, there is going to be an AWP staring at that spot. Alu given the responsibility of holding short, but look at this. Angel not interested just yet. This is free control. They'll take it for now. We'll see how the round does continue to shape up. A 3-2 split for the CTs. Alu's going to be the first port of call.
Oh no, does he know they've crouched on under?
Plays anti-flash lovely. Smoke's going to stop him. And forced to back away. Drops off though, not too bad. A quick exchange of fire. Alu down to 60. Molly on site's not going to affect Lexi B. Nice angle with the AUG as well. Can catch them on the cross. But do keep track of that bomb, because it's certainly not on 8.
It's an in-game leader's dream, Alex, to get cat control that early in the round without having any casualties. But ENCE have done a fantastic job at holding on to a bit of utility. Aerial still has all of his grenades. But over towards this B bomb site is where the action is going to take place. Still 50 seconds left, but 4 players in tunnel about to explode through this smoke.
It's big cojones from X7. He's right next to that smoke with a flash. He's let him slip away just a little bit. Walks away, fires off the warning shots. Now he's going to catch them through smoke. They're all bleeding internally. He did tag up another. That's not enough though. Hobbit down to 4, but he's still on site. Bomb will go down. The molly to keep them at bay. Throws the bomb to his injured teammate. I worry he could get caught on the spray from Alexi here. No, safe and sound for now. It's a 3 versus 2.
Big duel here.
He has to win this. Ariel about to challenge. Nice bait, but the molly's there. Oh, no, it's not. Woxic, Butterfingers, slips up on the molly. Now chooses to go wide and makes up for it. 2v2. Pressure being applied to Hobbit now. He just has to survive. And he's going to catch him just as the flashbang pops. Just on Alu's out.
No kid either.
He's just to back away, but punished again. Hobbit, how are you taking these fights? 4 HP, still willing to go. Look at that. That is an ambitious maneuver. They're starting to nurture quite the bank account here.
The protocol nades that are being used by ENCE are actually getting used against them, exploding through their own smoke, pushing through their own Molotovs, expecting the guys from Hellraisers to respect the utility, but that's not what's happening. They're just taking the fight to them. They're still using this pace. They're going to have to go for an aggressive play. They have to lock this down. So we will see a pistol upgrade coming out right now, but hopefully they have some moves in their back pocket if you're an ENCE fan to take the fight to Hellraisers, because right now it's their ballpark.
See how this one shapes up. Nades raining in Hobbit, but he does manage to kind of evade the majority. A nade of his own is going to soften up the CTs, and this should be a nice little cleanup. It shows up alongside him and just massacring the CT stack towards long. 3 bodies have already dropped. Just 1 remains. Alexi B staring at the corpse of his fallen comrades, chooses to relocate. And this will just be another, quote-unquote, easy round for Hellraisers.
One of the things that I was touching on earlier was the conditioning of ENCE, right? If Hellraisers play so fast in this early stage, like I'm talking about, they have 2 choices. They can go aggressive and take the fight to them, boost some players' cat, you know, do one of their aggressive moves around middle or up a dark push, something along those lines. Or you have to use your utility very early all across the map. You can't expect B pushes. You know, you have to make sure that you're really isolating them so they can't take territory so quickly. The problem that becomes there is, if you use your utility early and they change it up and start playing slow and fake you out with a simple flash or HE, you're not going to have any utility left to defend in the late round.
I mean, we're not going to be seeing too late in that round, of course, as that one does wrap up. So now, 7-1. 7 rounds in favor of Hellraisers.
This is so quick.
I mean, so what was your... Be real with me. Real expectations of Hellraisers. You would have had them significantly below ENCE.
Look, I think ENCE, you know, as a team have better fundamentals than Hellraisers. That's purely because they speak their native language, and I think that they've been working the ground up to get this point, whereas Hellraisers have constantly had to plug the hole with the players in the team. But
it's interesting that you mentioned just native language, just because I have a fantastic quote from Angel I'll talk to you about in just a moment, because at the moment, they are charging.
Sergey's been hit again, Alex.
Okay, he's actually starting to scream now. He's even gone for the double AWP. That's a huge investment that now only has 19 points of health to work with, but he does work with it. Misses an easy one. That's going to cost him, and that could cost him the round. Now the site's open. Smokes are starting to be deployed. Bomb is present in the hands of Issa, and it's all on Alexi to catch them on the cross. I don't think he caught a glimpse of Issa now. Nade will be there, but it won't be enough. Won't do anything, actually. Must have just whistled past Issa.
They have to save. I don't know how they're going to get back into this round. They are. They're scampering out of town.
Oh.
Tucking their tail between their legs, and they're going to go back towards long to save. They know that that is clear, but Ariel has made the route of escape even easier.
That's a way out. It's also an AWP on the floor. Woxic's going to be not too worried about that. $13,000 in the bank account as well. Likely going to be picked up by their teammates if they can, but the CTs do look to save towards pit and long. They'll be keeping the hold of their weapons, and the Ts just gracefully exit with another round. Hellraisers 8.
Just quickly, with that AWP battle that's been going on, and it's not even a battle, it's just Woxic hitting the side of Sergey every time he wants to cross. What starts to happen here is you maybe smoke and then you wait until you hear the shot and then you cross, but then that's going to allow the Ts just to go faster B because you're crossing so late. So the solution right now for ENCE, it's not an easy one to solve, Alex.
It certainly isn't. I think this is just credit to Woxic. He single-handedly is starting to condition Sergey, if not ENCE, that those double doors, it's not a guarantee to get across scot-free. See how this timeout pays off for them. It's going to be ENCE's first of this game. Of course, a best of 1, but don't forget, we are in the loser category. Hellraisers were demolished on Train versus FaZe Clan in their opening game, and it was a close one, but ENCE falling to Renegades to put them here. You have to secure 1 to avoid the minor system. Both of these teams are no stranger to it. Of course, Hellraisers, they managed to get here on their own merit over in London. ENCE, however, through the challenges, and they want to secure a spot back there next time. A win here would do so, but right now it's not looking too great. Woxic not going to connect this time. Issa, though, look at this. He is known for his aggression. He's known for this fearless attitude, especially on that T side. But speaking of, look at Ariel. No fear, Chad.
That's a massive risk. He's on his own. There's no trade potential, but
he has some support-ish.
Yeah, look, if they're not in his line of sight, he can't do anything about that, but Woxic might get caught off guard here. I don't think he'll be expecting anyone to push up this far.
I certainly wouldn't. Oh, but Woxic! He's got a mouse mat the size of a postage stamp, but he can still hit shots like that. Aerial caught off guard.
How does he hit that?
3 challenging towards X7 and Sergey. This is where the orc can come into its own. It's all about that AK aim. It's all on X7. Their aim was drawn for just a moment, but again, the B site open. ENCE need to work this out. Why can they not hold B?
I have no idea what's going on towards the side. They're not ready for the heads-up duels. Dead Fox is normally a player on this team of Hellraisers who's critiqued for just more being a support player, not having a lot of impact until we get to the later stages, and then he finds a miraculous 3-piece. But over towards this B bomb site, entering in time and time again, they're taking advantage of the fact that Sergey, he's been tagged up a lot, and X7's not able to get anything done. They're just walking in on this guy and taking him down every time.
I just want to check the scoreboard, see where that... Yeah, so Sergey has really been struggling. I mean, he has 2 kills to his name, 10 deaths. He's died every round of play so far, and a big part of that, of course, on that B site. In the meantime, Alu is going to get caught out. Another death for him, and it's down to Alexi to keep hold of the organ. He actually may not have a guaranteed Woxic. That is ambitious. Okay. He's got no health.
He's making it look way too easy. But at this point of the game,
good God.
ENCE are in a position where they don't have enough money for a full buy, but they also don't have any rounds on the board. So as an in-game leader at this point, you have to just start calling the buy rounds and making the best of a bad situation. And that's what's going to happen. As I can see right here, that Alu's bought into the AWP. We've got 2 orgs coming up on X7 and Sergey. And Ariel and Alexi B have been left on UMPs. This is not optimal at all. Again.
Woxic, you are just... He's been on the workshop map, I'm calling it. Either that or he's a good player. You know, that's another option. But spectacular work from the Turkish AWP. Repeat from Alu, looking to challenge with low HP and now likely to be punished if he goes again. Angel present on double doors, chooses not to.
They've really, you know, bolstered that B defense. Alu over there on the AWP and the 2 orgs. That leaves UMPs to defend A. They are not the best weapons because you have to take long duels towards when they're crossing long. You know, if they want to push up Cat and you're playing from the side, that's not a fight you can take. So they've opted to play close short here, Alex.
They do work short though, and this is going to be Ariel has to get one here, maybe get away without the trade. That's a flash, that's a frag, and there's the trade. Angel does manage to keep things level, and that was what he was looking to avoid because that puts a whole lot of pressure on Alexi should they hit A. Smoke. Enough to regain control of short. Bomb, however, is going elsewhere. Pressure towards mid. Who's there? Who is responsible for that?
We've got X7 from B doors, Alu back up plat, and Alexi Cat. He's going to find more contact here. Angel on low HP. That nade's going to take him down. He's going to fall. Now we have a 3-on-3. Still 40 seconds left on the clock, so plenty of time for Hellraisers to work. There's no rush for them to get into this.
Yeah, Molly keeps him at bay again. 30 seconds. ENCE, this is probably the closest they've come to a shot and finding their second round here in quite some time. Alexi B, though, he's not in an optimal position should they hit that short.
Alexi B doesn't consider long, and Hobbit's about to peek him.
Oh, this is a problem. This is a huge problem. He's all they've got, and it's taken away from them. Hobbit, he's applying pressure to middle. He might even get it. He does. X7 core. Alu, of course, that damage done by Woxic at the very start of the round comes back to haunt him. This dream of a potential clutch taken from him before he can even think about it. 2 frags to his name so far, 18 ADR. Where is Alu? Missing posters across Dust 2. That's the 10th. Hellraisers, fantastic work from them. This is the T side of Dust 2, and they are looking so comfortable. As is Hobbit in the Hellraisers jersey. I mean, this is still relatively new. Such a mix of nationalities. You've got Ukraine, Hungary, Turkey, Jordan, and now Kazakhstan. What a mix. Angel on record saying that a team that doesn't speak their native language works at only 80% of their potential in a recent interview with HLTV. Well, it certainly seems like 80% is enough versus ENCE here.
Fast long again. Issa gets out with ease, and it's just the pistols to deal with this time. I can't see ENCE winning any rounds here, Alex. There's no signs of life. They're not winning any duels. They can't establish any map control. They're playing catch-up in the massive of senses. You hear when I talk on the desk, you know, when teams are playing quite quickly and they're being very decisive, you have to make a decision to stop that. But if you allow them to snowball, like we've seen happen here over these 11 rounds, ENCE are flustered. ENCE don't know where the solution is. They don't know how to fix the problem.
Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. They won the pistol, right? Like USP nonsense round, right?
That's
the only round they've won was a mid-rush with USPs against a buy?
This is so flat from them. They're not putting up any type of fight.
Well, let's see. It's not over yet. ENCE know that as well, but I would perhaps consider using those timeouts more effectively in the second half, because they're going to have to do something quite miraculous on their T side. CT battered and bruised so far. Their defense has done very little to keep Hellraisers at bay. And now, interestingly enough, Hellraisers have slowed it down. They know they're against pistols, or at least they know the money's tight. And Angel's made the call. Take your time. Don't fall into any P250s in corners. Don't push through a smoke and be met by 4 CTs. Just take your time. And taking their time, they will. Speaking of, 20 seconds. They should have plenty of time to get that bomb down. There's no pressure on site. And it is currently in the grasp of Angel.
At this point, you're not even trying to do damage to the economy. You can't. Like, look at how much money Hellraisers have in the bank. Everybody besides Angel has well over 10k.
At this point, I don't think the conversation's about economy. The conversation's purely about rounds.
And where are they?
To find them. At least Sergey's hitting shots. That's a positive sign for rounds to come. Takes Woxic out of the equation. Now it's surely you don't need to give them those challenges. Your weapons are worth significantly more than theirs. The Dead Fox pretty low, and now Is has lost it again. Orp left, but don't think it's going to be a grand scheme problem, as Chad so rightly pointed out. I mean, they've got buys for days, right? They could be leaving auto snipers in spawn at this rate.
Yeah, and the loss bonus is maxed on out here for ENCE, right? So they're going to be able to keep getting buys if they take some relatively, I guess, light pistol rounds like we just saw there. So now they can bring out all the goodies. They can get everything they want. We've seen this double op set up. I think this will be the 3rd time. Sergey hasn't even had a chance to really use it. He had 1 kill on a player coming out mid to B, but then they just pounce through upper dark. So they make him look towards middle, and before you know it, they're pushing through the molly, they're pushing through the smoke, they're in the face of X7 as the B defender, and that bomb site crumbles, and now they're just going back to the standard, the 2-3 default.
Nothing from Woxic this time. I guess there's a first time for everything. So successful on double doors. Issa gets across. CT's likely aware of it though, or at least consider it. But Alu, there it is. Fast blast onto Angel, who started to challenge short, perhaps not even with his gun out. Issa in the meantime catches Aerial on the cross. No pit for you. Alu found his 3rd frag at the start of this round. Let's see if he can find a 4th.
Here's another problem. Because they're playing so defensive in this B bomb site, the rotation to A, where we can see 4 players are, as Alu's going to find another, is so far away. So if Hellraisers pulled the trigger and just accelerated on the A attack, it would have been a 2v4. But right now, they're finding themselves, I was going to say with the number advantage, but hold up a second.
Watch out for Woxic. He is on. As his Dead Fox catches a fantastic spray through X7. Every bullet connecting the final to the brain. Numbers, once again, disadvantage for ENCE, and they just take the fights. Where are they? Where are they? Alu, Aerial, Alexi B, Sergey, and X7. They managed to, of course, get through the Challenger stage with a win versus Windstrike, G2, and Spirit. Losing to Renegades twice, no less.
That resume is not very impressive, is it?
No. Looking at this, perhaps expectations set a little high for ENCE. We're going to have to see whether they can weather this storm. Not forgetting, this would put them 0-2. A reverse sweep would be necessary to get to the next stage. That's a cruel reality, and another tag from Woxic. And never mind, it wasn't. Who was that double AWP? Dead Fox. Of course, used to be the primary AWPer what feels like millennia ago. In the meantime, Sergey's made the scout work. That's a real solid leg up as a second comes in. Winning the fights.
Yeah, they've thrown caution to the wind this round. X7 is normally the B player. He's gone long. He pushed all the way into bedroom, and now he's fallen back to Cat. We have Alexi B over towards the B-bomb site, and Sergey taking duels with a scout in middle. So the call is, nothing's working, do whatever you want.
Which often, the sod's law seems to find more success. Nothing's working, just do what you want. Somewhat a commentary on the tactical nature of Counter-Strike, but sometimes it's about feel, and Hobbit certainly feeling himself as he finds Alu on short. X7 though, he's only got a UMP. It's not a duel he can win, certainly not 2 or not 3 Ts, and the Molotov forces them back. They've got so much time. No commitment necessary at this point as they try and claw back the round. It's round 14 here. Best of 1, need I remind you. Hobbit quick bullet to guise that drop. Nothing close though.
Oh, he has the bomb here. He's going to have to go with his teammates. I think getting stuck in no man's land would be a big no-no, but both B players are bleeding very badly. 31 HP for Sergey and 30 for Alexi.
Yeah, it's to get caught by that scout shot, and this is working lovely. Nice bit of teamwork. Alexi B with the Molotov, but that's only going to last so long. Now they're running out of options, though. Hellraisers surely going to have to back out of this one, and it's going to be just down to Hobbit. No health, and there's the second ENCE. They break the drought. It's merely a shower, though. Not really too much to write home about. Second round now for ENCE. They need the third. And my goodness,
X7 wasn't even able to scramble one of the dropped weapons there. He's stuck with the UMP that he had in that last round. So what we felt could have been a round where they could have all gotten some upgraded weaponry is not to be. But it is the last round, as you mentioned, and they have to buy whatever they can. Sergey has an AUG. Alexi B deciding what he wants to buy right now. He hasn't invested into anything.
Uh-oh. Did you see what I saw? An auto sniper or two, perhaps, to end this one from Hellraisers.
It's not too bad. I think a counter to knowing teams in the last round of a half who are going to go for this is to go for an early cat boost, because you know a lot of people are going to have their eyes on mid, right? Remember back when Fnatic did it, they had all 5 players focused on middle. If you go for a mid smoke and you boost some players cat and you go aggressive, you're going to catch them out of position because they're trying to be cheeky in that last round.
Of course, the luxury is they have the funds. They can take this for the fun and then switch back to what they intend to use. And as this barrage of bullets hails towards middle, nothing comes of it. And so things once again reach sanity for AKs instead, and the AWP for Woxic.
This feels like a normal round of Counter-Strike. There's no explosion play coming out from the Ts. The default was being established. The CTs are set up without too much harassment. But Hellraisers have basically full utility. And it looks like they want to go bully that B bomb site some more. X7 has still been relegated over towards holding long, and Alexi B has taken that position in tow. That's going to be a call from the in-game leader. You're not getting the job done, mate. I'll do it myself.
B has been such a problem for ENCE. They haven't been able to keep hold of it. And now Alexi B and Sergey tested once again. Great connection from Sergey. Alexi needs to do the same, and they do. A double from Sergey. Looking for 3. Woxic's not going to make it easy. Back into the site. The AWP, the entry fragger. It's Woxic. Of course it is. Back to Tons. It's going to be his responsibility. The bomb's not going to be down for him, and therefore more closing in on keeping Angel safe. 2 CTs just on the other side of that wall. Every noise you make will be heard, and he knows it. The Molotov's going to make plenty of noise. That's so much impact. They're pushing through it, and Angel, softened up, is going to find both. Hello. He's there as well. He's only got the AWP. This is going to be 13 for Hellraisers unless this man does something absolutely crazy. Goes wide. It's not good enough. No time. No hope. And Woxic seals the deal. 13, and that's a very happy Hellraisers. My goodness, what a half, Chad.
New coach Amy behind them used to just be the analyst. He got a bit of an upgrader's role as Jonta is no longer with them. Happy there after a 13-2 half. How could you not be smiling after that one?
This round reset them. Dead Fox, some heroics through the Molotov, and that does secure a huge lead for Hellraisers. Looking to close it out. We're going to take a quick one. When we come back, we'll find out if ENCE have got anything left. Hellraisers 13, ENCE 2. You are reading that correctly. Do not adjust your TV screens. This is reality. ENCE going to be looking down the barrel of 0 and 2. One more loss potentially, and they would be eliminated after what was a considerable struggle in the Challenger stage. They did overcome it, but Legends, is it proving too much? I'm joined by Chad Sponge Birchall. I hate that. I'm sorry. I hate that I did.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Closing has been the issue for ENCE in the past, but they're not even close to having a chance to close the game. As on the T side here, looks like they're going to be dictated to even more. Angel going for a very quick low dark push with Issa in tow.
I don't think Ali's going to be expecting this. Certainly not 2. Perhaps 1. The call made, of course, no mid info there. 3 of them stacked up, though. ENCE have the numbers, and Alu is just training his eyes. I say that. This could be exploited. It's all about timing. And what is this? A triple moonwalk!
A call must have been made from the player in T-Spawn that they did spot something towards the end there, but it doesn't really matter because they still have so much information.
They do have a degree of long control. Would you call that long control? Aerial's up there.
Yeah, the thing is, with the smoke and the flash to cross, we know that a gap is left unless you can get that double smoke combo down. The player over towards top of A is Hobbit. He's going to set off the alarm bells when he does spot the T's swinging around the corner.
I love that they left him there. That's cool. They left Alu as this kind of B info. He's got his ears peeled. That's a thing, I promise.
It's strange that Hellraisers are holding this formation for so long, but now that Hobbit's spotted something, it has to change.
Hobbit, he's going to make the call. So many numbers throwing at him, and he's just going to have to try and back off. They know they could... Oh, what a shot from Woxic. My goodness. That did look almost inhuman. A quick tap, 1 shot, 1 kill. Now 4v4, but the retake is coming in before the bomb even goes down. They start their charge. Alu's punishing all of them, though. Body shots, just Glock bullets pummeling into the rib cages of Hellraisers. A bit of a stability brought by Woxic, but now 1v2. Angel, he's been shot in the backside. It's Alu again. 3 to his name in that round. He's almost doubled his kills in 1 round alone, Chad.
Yeah, and that flank that you pointed out was the key to success there. Nobody from Hellraisers was even expecting it. And that must be off the information the T-Spawn player was able to gather.
Oh, we talked about it, didn't we? He was like that signal beacon. He was truly just left to his own devices, and he played it perfectly. I like. We might even be able to see this again.
With the force buy we have coming out right now, Alex, the 2 scouts, this is optimal for me because there's so many positions you can take these jewels from, and if you tag them up, they become very shy, I guess, when you want to hit a bomb site. They don't want to, you know, pick that corner so wide. They're a little bit slower in their approach, and that's when the CZs, that MP9 of Angel, that's when they can really get stuck in and do some work.
So at the moment, the T's relatively passive, just aerial, kind of away from the herd. He's just going to be trying to get some info towards Tons.
Normally when you see and hear the scouts on the board, which they have done, you want to use your utility, right? Xbox smoke is perfect. Then you can get cat control. Then you can, you know, use a couple of simple smokes to force them into awkward duels. Once you can find a position where you can take a fair fight, that scout, it doesn't become so scary because you got those AK-47s on board.
Ooh, Issa catches a bullet through the doors, and this is that reserved second round that puts a smile on Chad's face. Not taking any risks, not walking into any scouts early.
The danger doesn't begin just yet. They have cat control.
Sure.
This is positive, but it's from this point on of how they want to tackle this. They don't have any smokes left, so they have to flash and fight.
Who's the fight coming from? Let's have a look. Woxic's holding the line with his scout. No doubt he'll be hitting some shots. Softening them up for Issa. Does already take 1 down. It's going to be Alexi B down to 30. They start the cross, and Alexa, don't know what I'm talking about there. Either way, X7. Subliminal messaging here. Sergey catches Angel's aggression up mid, and this should be it. Alexi B, perhaps, was where my brain was taking that one as the bomb does go down from him, and this should be the end of the round. That little bit of long aggression late from Hobbit is not met, but Dead Fox takes Sergey out. So, a round likely to ENCE. But the CTs, they're going to get some weaponry from this, and they're taking plenty of it away from ENCE.
You have to notice as well the pistols, which they just upgraded. Dead Fox swapped over to a CZ75, and Issa had the Deagle that he started with. They can drop those across to 2 other players, and now we're in business again. The AK-47 in the hands of the best player of the team. He can definitely get some work done there. And that scout, we just saw how much damage is done. Look at the bottom right. See the HP right now of ENCE. When they push that bridge position, right? Yeah. And Woxic's standing there at mid-long. That's a hold your breath moment. Because if he wins one of those shots, that completely stifles the push into the site. He can reposition and take another duel. So ENCE have a very long way to go here. They need to clean up some of these rounds against the lower buys.
So Hellraisers, they don't have to rush this, and I'm sure that's a conversation that they don't even need to have. Just see what we get with this buy and wait until everything's comfortable. The full buy can come in and we'll get those last 3. Just 3 is all they need. But ENCE, if they were to come back, they're doing it in the right direction, of course. Winning that pistol, converting, and the climb begins. Let's see how this one shapes up. I think are we in a timeout right now? Must be.
I think this is technical, just from what I can see in the server right now.
Okay.
And the players aren't saying anything, which normally leads to that being the case.
Well, you know, the desk often talks about ENCE, yourself included, about how they are a team that can get ahead early. In fact, Sean even talked that he worries when he sees ENCE getting ahead early. Well, quite the contrary now. And perhaps we get to see another facet of ENCE's gameplay. If they do bring this back, then that's something that many needed to see to back ENCE in the future.
Yeah, well, look, the biggest problem for me was, look, the loss to Renegades, not the end of the world. I'm not talking about the opening one here, I'm talking during the Challenger stage, but the fact that they had a 14-1 lead against Windstrike on Train from the CT side, and Windstrike were able to bring it all the way back to 16-12, that's the alarm bells, because the one thing that I've always had the caveat with ENCE is, yeah, they have the fundamentals, yeah, they're on an upward trajectory, but the problem is they don't have a closer in the team, and that closer comes with experience, and that's Alu. Now, being an AWPer, it's so much more difficult to get into positions where you can brawl and, get a nice 3-piece, and you're able to win around with an exciting clutch. AWPers, when they do it, it's few and far between. That's why people blow your mind, Alex.
They certainly do. And I'm hoping to see my mind blown once again by ENCE. So like we're going to be getting back into this one. Issues resolved. And let's see just how close can this one become.
An interesting buy coming out from the side of Hellraisers. And when I say buy, only one player is actually truly invested in a weapon, and that's Hobbit.
So this is...
It's an MP5, so it's a light investment around that saved AK. They dropped the pistols across, and this is all done from just Dead Fox and Issa staying alive in the previous.
Okay, bomb, and hit the majority of ENCE heading towards that B site. There's only one to receive them right now, so keep your eyes on that. It will be down to Dead Fox should they come, just a deagle. Starting to try and craft something here in round 18. Alexi B, going to be that scout, the only player with the SMG. He's hoping to exploit that. Couple of naked CTs, no Kevlar on Dead Fox and Angel. A team Molotov close, hoping to clear out those close angles, and nothing too much for the CTs to go off. They know there's presence up mid, and that's where Issa is positioned. Has Angel for a supporting flash. Is he going to get a peek on this? He is! Oh my goodness, just the one, but heavily tags up Alexi B as well. The CT starting their rotate. They know A is going to be exploited here. Angel is really not in a dream scenario, especially with the weapon at hand. Just a CZ tagged up, but Alexi B's nade will finish that job. Now Alu, he knows there's a Woxic down there and chooses to take the fight close quarters. Not to convert though. Numbers depleting once again. This should be ENCE finishing this one off, and they certainly do. Woxic just a tag. Close quarters with the scout. That's all he'll be bringing out of that round.
I know this sounds strange, but ENCE have weathered the storm of the scarier rounds. Because if they were to drop one of those, that's the half done and dusted. That's them completely getting blown out of the server. Now they really have a chance to mount this comeback. If they can win this gun round, force Hellraiser's economy back down into the bin.
I don't think I'm ready to start talking about comeback.
No, you're right, but it needs to start here.
Absolutely. I think the conversation is more about making it respectable, finding your feet for the next game, because my goodness, if you concede the next 3, I don't know if you're ready for your next game, your elimination game. Best of 3, of course. 6-7 in the meantime, getting challenged on long. Looking for more with the Galil, but it's not enough. That's long neutralized. A, safe. Great work from the CTs here. Hobbit and Issa found the first. Woxic in the meantime was keeping short safe, and now it's just Ariel and Alexi B. Sure, that's some control up mid, but it is 2 versus 4. They have to go above the line of duty, and I love this angle from Dead Fox. He is going to be flashed. He is going to be fragged. We've got something here, Chad.
Fantastic teamwork under pressure there. The bomb will go down, and the Molotov is going to come in very handy on Ariel here, as well as the smoke from Alexi. This is going to delay a choke point or 2.
So paranoid about tunnels. They just don't have the resources to safely cover all of those entrances. They're going to give it their best shot, though.
That molly's very deep.
They chose to push through it before. Kit is not present, if my eyes don't deceive me, which makes things very awkward for Hellraisers. They start their push. Here we go. Where's the cover? Ariel gets one, but that's enough. They clean it up. And have they got time? I don't think they do. Scarpa, get out of there. ENCE found their 6th. Where was the kit? Not a single one purchased. Of course, admittedly, they were only buying, what, an MP5 at that start of that round?
Okay, well, that isn't the ideal where you want that to go down. They found themselves in such... I am lost for words
You're
there.
speechless.
They must have known that there was no kit on the board, but they still postured for such a long period of time based off 2 simple bits of utility. They had the number advantage. Even if they'd send someone in as a bit of a martyr just to draw the attention, they could have traded. But they did save some guns.
A delayed retake with no kit didn't work out for Hellraisers.
That could be the 20% lacking that Angel alluded to, as Alu's going to open up the board here onto Angel towards Long.
This CT side is limping right now. Just an AWP and an AUG to work with here on round 20. ENCE in pursuit of round 7. Slow and steady. Going to count on Ali, who's already drawn first blood, and that's fantastic work. Aggression towards Long. But where do they go from here?
An aggressive CT move has to come in, and Woxic's taking matters into his own hands. He's going to creeping up Cat here, has a nice aggressive line. The Fiffy line we used to call that. And actually will be a Cat take. They can Molotov him off this position. You can do a safe one from around the corner. If you flash, he'll pick on your flash. As you can notice here that he's just checking every now and again, but he's mainly looking into the wall.
He's essentially just anti-flash permanently.
He has no help though. Hobbit is in spawn. They're hedging that this is either going to be a B or a mid to B play, but it will be over towards A, as Sergey at this point is taking bedroom control and X7 has rotated out of dark. It all lies on Woxic here.
In the meantime, the B defense, they're utilizing their utility. Sounds stupid. Woxic in the meantime, that's the Molotov you were talking. What is this decision? What are you doing? Tries to moonwalk aggressively towards the T's, and it's not gone well for Woxic. Perhaps his teammate Hobbit can peel back just a little bit of this attack, because at the moment it's only an MP9. He's backing away. They have Long, and they have the round. He's out of that. That should be 7 for ENCE.
If I can just note why he felt the need to make that play, is he had no idea what was going on towards Long. They didn't have eyes over there. Sure, Hobbit could see it from CT spawn, but if he had dropped out, he may have been caught in a crossfire regardless. So the risk to make a play, he knew that if he made a kill or two, his teammates had a chance. If he went down, he was probably dead either way, right? So sure, he could have dropped CT spawn and they could have saved, but to fight for this, to actually make a game of it,
that was his only option.
that was the plan. That was the play. He realized that there was so much pressure on him to make some kills there that if they wanted to be in this round, he had to deliver.
And as the Molotov landed, it was a question of, hey, you've got less than a second to decide what you're going to do about this.
And I don't mind that, considering how many rounds they have or had to work with, as ENCE now are going to find their way up to 7 on the board to the 13 of Hellraisers. This is going to be a huge comeback, considering we've seen the swing towards CT side from the majority of their maps due to, some might say, the AUG.
Did they get that AK? No. Okay. I thought that was going to be cool. Hobbit was trying to shoot the T's weapon up the B ramp, but I don't think they were willing to take that risk. There was a player hunting them in CT.
So now with the max loss bonus, well, they had it 1 round earlier because of the adjustment in the money system.
Yeah.
But Hellraisers are able to get another full gun round going on. Still a compromise for Hobbit, who finds himself with an MP9. But it's a faster approach right now from ENCE. They've sent 4 members over towards Dark early. Sergey left.
There is such a contrast between the two T sides. Chad, when we were watching Hellraisers, they were doing what felt like very aggressive, very quick takes onto sites. At the moment, very slow and steady from ENCE, but it has been rewarded. Don't forget, Hellraisers yet to get around here on the CT side.
I'm not sure if Hellraiser's game plan on the T-side was to keep the aggression the whole time, but it didn't stop working, so there was no point changing. The mid to B play is on the cards as 3 players have postured out middle. They haven't thrown a mid to B smoke, so they haven't given away their positions just yet. But Hobbit playing close cap means that he can always push out for a fast flank from that position. That's why Alexi B is making sure nobody wants to get too curious.
Okay, Molotov exchanged. Both of them just warming their opponents.
Tennis match.
Speaking of warm hands, have you seen the little radiators the players have on their desks?
That's a nice, cool addition, isn't it?
Yeah, well, warm edition.
But
Thank you. 2 drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff. Starting to aggress now. It's taking the first. He has to get more than 1 hit. That's enough. Now backs away. Gets away with his life. And now he finds the double. But Ariel and Sergey respond in kind. aggression through the smoke from Woxic does get traded, but he did find one, and now Angel is in. It's a chaotic round, but it ends with Hellraisers finding their first. My goodness, that was 9 frags in less than 15 seconds.
I was about to praise ENCE. Like, it looked like they were going to win that round because they'd milked so much utility, right? They were forcing Hellraisers to throw everything they had. So when you get to that late round situation where ENCE have all the goodies left in their back pocket, they can flash, they can push them off lines. At that point, I thought, all right, ENCE have done their job here. But the heads-up play, Issa being the star he is, shuts down that mid to B from the window position.
Did Ariel just wallbang Issa? No, okay. Where did that kill come through secondly? I'll check in a minute. At the moment, Sergey goes wide on long and finds Hobbit early. They're getting caught out there repeatedly. Alu previously, this time Sergey. The long hold from Hellraisers has been suboptimal. Now that we're getting to see a little bit of wind beneath their wings, they're starting to charge. Molotov's awkward. Angel's burning to death right now. Angel, get out of the flames! Alexi B takes him. The flash combination was too much. Now 3 versus 2. ENCE once again with the lead.
ENCE can really slow here, Alex. There's still a minute 20 left on the clock. They don't have to run anything. Woxic will. He pushes, almost gets the kill. Sergey respawns in time.
This is a problem. Dead Foxes just can't do this one. He's got so much to check, so much to push. He knows there's one long, he knows there's one likely site. He certainly does now as the bomb does start to go down. Ariel behind him, takes it wide, and Sergey finds another. 3 in the round. He opens it, he closes it, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered. Where have you been, Sergey? We need more from that. More of that from you.
We call that a hard reset in the business.
Oh, really? That's the technical term, because they are down to scraps.
Yeah. When you eventually win a round on that CT side, if you're unable to convert, if you're unable to continue winning rounds, you're going to get set back to that original loss bonus, which will be $1,400. So you can see that's why they're only dealing with, most players here are 2K and less. Sorry, 2.5K and less. You've got Hobbit, who has the most with 3.1.
Wow. If you didn't catch that stat, by the way, we'll get to see Woxic here with some spectacular AWPing. I think he actually gets another one here. So in that replay, Woxic got the same amount of AWP frags as Alu. In total, 17 to the name of Woxic. Alu quite quiet with the AWP. But this is a team game, and ENCE have had a resounding T side. Let's not forget, 13-2 on the half in favour of Hellraisers. We find ourselves now at 14-8. And Hellraisers, they're going to taste their own medicine. Alu catches Dead Fox through the doors. He's going to be forced to defend B with 10 points of health, if he even gets that far. Looks like they're going to be stacking up with these pistols and just hoping to maybe scavenge an AK out of this round.
Yeah, part of me wants to just talk over this round.
Let's do it then.
Well, here's the thing. I want to do that, but we saw ENCE win a full USP round in the first half, so maybe we'll give this one a little bit more respect. So Sergey is going to be... this is a greeted with some guests, but there's Alu who's caught with his pants down. The AWP will be dropped.
Surely it finishes here. Sergey, he's not going to mess this up. He knows they're low. By low, of course, I mean no armor, no weapon. Dead Fox hunted in tons, and now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, it can definitely simmer at this point.
Okay, thank you. Angel, recent statement, really interesting to me. He says, I have not left my mark on the history of CSGO. I'm still on my way. I hope I have enough time. Does that not feel like something out of a Marvel comic?
Is he like a hero? Or are you looking at him as like a villain?
I'm saying he's Peter Parker before the radioactive spider bit. That's what I'm saying.
Is Simple the radioactive spider?
You know what? If I had to describe him as a radioactive animal, I think he would be.
Yeah, look, I can understand that because Angel's been an in-game leader for feeding stars to other teams, you know? Yeah. He's had players come in, you know, he's put them in the system, it's worked, and then they've gone elsewhere. So he hasn't ever been part of a squad with all the stars. He's had to look for talent. He's had to really dig deep and try and find players like Woxic and Issa.
I mean, Hellraisers is testament to his talent nurturing abilities. This is a team that are coming as current legends. They secured this spot at the previous major and now are making ENCE sweat. They certainly were in the first half. Right now, it seems to be quite a two-horse race. ENCE back in this one.
There was a problem with this buy coming out from Hellraisers instead of 3 Famouses on the board. I had a teammate, Alex, who'd prefer to buy the UMP than a Famous, so...
That teammate called Chad Sponge Birchill?
No, that was Azza. He actually said the Famous was probably the worst gun in the game. That was about 4 years ago now, but...
Still not seen in a good light by many. 3 of them on the side of Hellraisers. Let's see if they can keep this CT side together. Find their 15th that's been eluding them. As was the 14th until recently, of course.
The problem here is they don't have anybody babysitting long. If
here they come.
Angel gets aggressive and finds information, they might get stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Woxic has to do something quite special here. He does have the cross, but I think Alexibi's lining up something, a little special treat coming his way. It could be a bit of a nade exchange. Woxic on the FAMAS. He does have the Molotov. It's going to go just about in the right direction. It's going to tickle the toes of Aerial, but he is being pressured. Trying to go wide, but I don't think he's expecting this. They're already on site. He gets one. Surely not a second one. Woxic has to survive. It is truly bloodshed central on this A side, but I think they're getting away with it. The CTs, they hold fast. Alexibi has to do more than that. 2 versus 3. Woxic does fall to Alexibi's AK, but it's all on him now. Has to get 2 more. Looking for the 4K in the round. He gets forced out by the Molotov, and I can hear Hellraisers from here. 15 is found as they are now looking to secure what will be a very important round. 1-1, this would put them. It sounds a lot better than 0-2, Chad.
This has been a little bit more convincing from ENCE, but only 9 rounds on the board, facing match point, game point. They're not really the type of team who I can see bringing this back.
Yeah, I think their fate very well could be sealed. Hellraisers have managed to do enough. More respectable, certainly, their T side rendering significantly more rounds than it was of their defense. Just 2 rounds on CT Dust 2. They're going to have to definitely get their eyes on the demo, work out where it all went wrong. It started certainly with Woxic and his fantastic AWPing. Aerial trying to get across. It's a bit clunky, and I think they know. Sergey, in the meantime, is doing all the work for him. Hobbit and Angel eliminated. Woxic forced into a very uncomfortable circumstance with this sort, but he could have a chance. On the edge of the smoke, they emerge, and again, his off angle sends him off home. Issa, in the meantime, finds 1, but that's not going to be anything. That's going to be the round for ENCE. CT's just having a conversation.
Felt like a magical moment was coming in there from Woxic when you saw him in that position.
But I swear, no, you never switch to another AWPer who finds himself in positions like that. You know, we cut to Woxic, he's facing a Molotov, running at 3 people with his back turned with an AWP. Cut to Woxic, and he's in the middle of long with an AWP in a smoke. He's definitely got a different approach, a different take, and it's got him 28 frags. So I'm not one to judge. It's certainly different, though.
Yeah, and you mentioned his high sense before. It's very unusual to see players using that high of a sense because it's so difficult to control. Is it an advantage? Sure, but most players are unable to master such a skill.
I can name one.
Forrest has a high sense, but I don't think it's as high. I'm not 100% on that one. I'm sure someone will tell us if we're right or wrong.
Last time I had... Oh, Issa catches Sergey after time, I believe, as well. No. Still has cash to play with.
So far in this game, we've seen Hellraisers buy behind save weaponry, right? They've dropped pistols across. Maybe someone's going to buy themselves an MP5. They've done a couple of interesting things behind saved weapons, and it appears they want to do it again, as Hobbit's going to get a UMP in his hand. Same for the likes of, I think it's Angel. And Woxic's going to have a scout. So this is still a decent buy, all things considered. They've been able to get together a lot of gun rounds. 2 nades are going to land. Alu's going to take a chunk of damage, but still finds the kill on Hobbit. A great opening for ENCE if they want to stay in this one.
Wow, he sees 2 HEs coming towards him, and he just holds the line.
Doesn't blink.
Doesn't even blink. That certainly doesn't smile, but he gets the frag. Alexibi, aggression towards mid. Instantly met by the flashbang. Trying to force Issa out of position. Issa to receive them on double doors. Angel going to have some support now given to him as Issa starts to Scarper. They're going to forego mid should the T's choose to take it. This is the beauty of Dust 2, though. It can go from feeling like B is being pressured to... Oh, never mind. They're not going to be feeling like B is pressured because here's Angel and Issa. Chad, you're nodding. You like that?
Yeah, it's good info play, and they did it together, so there was trade potential. But the problem is, how are they going to find themselves back in this? The lower dark push may catch them off guard. That smoke is perfect to delay. That gives Angel a chance.
They're going to be forced to stare at that smoke, and Angel starts to crawl forward. UMP in hand, Alu's low, and that's not enough!
God!
Quick trigger finger from the Finn. Woxic tested on long. It's only a scout, but he does connect the first. Looking at the toes of Sergey, finally does connect and convert. Looking for another one. It's not good enough. Numbers favouring ENCE, but Dead Fox is doing a lot of heavy lifting on short. He has to do more. 2 AKs staring his location. Molotov forces him out, and Alu's there. It's all on Issa, and he's backing the hell out of Dodge. He's not interested. We got ourselves an 11th for ENCE. They're not out of this one yet.
Alu there. The awareness.
If he goes down, that could have spiraled.
100%, because Alu was the one who had to take down Dead Fox. The 2 players crossing long, they were at the ramp. They had to take that duel.
Alu saves the day.
That was very, very scary. It felt like Alu was on a silver platter for Angel there. He's pushing through lower dark. They did it as a team. The other player dropped back so he could pivot, make sure it wasn't a mid to B in the meantime. Everything was looking good. It was a 4v5, sure, but they still made the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, Woxic, he certainly managed to keep them at bay, actually. A lot of praise to be given to him just for the fact that with a scout, he managed to keep 3Ts stationary for a solid 15 seconds, but they eventually crawled their way up. He lost his life, and they lose the round. Hellraisers 15, ENCE 11.
Quick little B-stream update. I believe G2 has taken down big.
Oh dear.
16 to 13 on Mirage, with Kenny S leading the way, 25 frags to his name.
Wow. I'm actually going to have to watch that one back. Big, of course. A lot of people expecting big things with Xanteras in the roster. Perhaps the loss of Smooya did sow some seeds of doubt, but at the moment in our game, Woxic really is getting the taste of exactly what he did to them. Tagged down to 11 before he can even get himself dug onto B site. Which should be the 12th, right?
Yeah, when you save an AK like this in the hands of ESA, you want to give him a chance to play. And what I mean by that is you don't want your pistol players to just get completely decimated. So the fact they're a little bit more reserved here, they still have a formation where they are as a unit. It's nice, they can get the information across to their key player.
Wow, Alexi B, he's going to have a lot to deal with when he gets up there, especially now he's tagged down to 47. A couple of, one P250 bullet would certainly seal the deal. Molly forces them out, and ENCE have dealt with this wonderfully. Great control of smoke. And a boost is getting, it's just the one, that's the AK, setting him up. But that proves too tall a task.
Just to note, the way Woxic died there was through the doors crossing back towards CT spawn from Alu, the man who tagged him at the start of the round. So
oh, I missed it.
He got the kill in the end. But now it starts to get very dangerous for Hellraisers. At this point, ENCE are always going to be buying, right? Like, they're always going to be fully investing. You're not going to see them go into any rounds with a Mac 10 or something like a Galil. They're going to have the AKs.
All those graphs about how much more CT-sided every game is, well, they certainly don't add up in this one. This equation, perhaps an anomaly, but Hellraisers have been struggling to do the same thing that ENCE struggled with.
They have 4 players long right now, Alex. That needs to be noted, and it is a mid to B call. Alu's going to find one trying to transition back over and cover that gap, but now Dead Fox, he's on an island over towards B. There's nobody even close. ENCE don't know this is the situation.
They're charging into the Lion's Den. Info being gathered on long, sure, but it's actually more Issa who's going to have to do a whole lot of heroics to keep this round from slipping away. Backing away, the flash is going to force him off, but Hobbit, spectacular double, he needed that. ENCE, they have to work with 3. Starting to cross again. In the meantime, Angel's going to deal with it. No, what? The game. How does it end so quick? Issa finds a double as well. Hellraisers, it took a little too long for comfort, but they are happy with that one. 1-1. Not staring down the reverse sweep.